The Adolescent Substance Abuse Knowledge Base reports that right around 30% of teens are offered drugs in middle school and high school. According to the National Household Survey on Drug Use and Health from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 74.3% of high school students have tried alcohol.
3.1 million teenagers smoke, according to the American Lung Association. The Kaiser Foundation reports that about 50% of teenagers feel pressured with regard to sex and relationships.
Feeling the need to be accepted and look cool is one of the defining characteristics in American middle and high schools today. I get it. You want to have friends, be in the popular crowd, and be the person everyone wants to know. I mean, who doesn't? Here's an example of an anonymous girl who fell into peer pressure. This is her story.
As a young girl, two of the more traumatic things I went through were growing up with an alcoholic parent and my parents' divorce. I tried to stuff the void I experienced with drugs and alcohol. I never even considered the idea that I might become an alcoholic or drug addict, and I swore to myself that I would never end up like my father. However, as I would later find out, the cards were stacked against me. My family's long history of drug and alcohol addictions played a huge role in where I ultimately ended up. The lifestyle itself was so familiar to me that it didn't even register that I wouldn't be able to stand up to the pressure to succumb to it. I was starved for attention as a kid, and I didn't have the coping skills I needed to go through the kinds of things the adults around me were putting me through. I became a great actress with the ability to mold myself into what others wanted me to be, a trait that came in handy once I started using full-time. The fact that I gave into peer pressure big time is no surprise. Other people's solutions to what I was going through, no matter how much bad judgment was there, was an easy way to let myself off the hook for my own behavior. I wanted to fit in and feel better about myself. Because I didn't feel like I could turn to my parents for advice and guidance, I turned to my peers. As a teenager who was already full of apprehension and anxiety, getting caught up and swept away by peer pressure was just another high. As a teen, I had a hard time grasping that my own judgment was impaired. I kept making bad decisions because I desperately wanted to belong and be accepted. It made me feel like I was a part of something instead of an outsider looking in.
Now the question is, what can we do as a society to change teenage peer pressure? I'll leave you with a choice. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Or live in the now and deal with the consequences of your actions. And it's true. When you're a teenager, you must think about the future and make wise choices in the present. Understand that being in the popular crowd is nothing special, especially if it comes down to peer pressure.